Hey baseball fans, welcome back to the channel. Tuesday night's game between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Diego Padres was an absolute rollercoaster. Packed with drama, hit by pitches, an ejection, and a standout performance from a rising star, the Dodgers ultimately triumphed 8-6 in a truly wild affair. But the storyline was just as much about the intense rivalry as it was about the final score. Tensions boil over. Hit by pitches and Roberts' ejection. The bad blood between these two NL West rivals boiled over in the third inning. It started when Padres star Fernando Tatis Jr. was hit by a pitch from Dodgers reliever Lou Trevino. This was the second time in 2 weeks Tatis had been plunked by the Dodgers, adding fuel to the fire. Then, in the bottom half of the inning, reigning National League MVP Shohei Ohtani was hit in the leg by Padres starter Randy Vasquez. The circumstances around Ohtani's plunking raised immediate suspicion. Vasquez threw an inside fastball that brushed Ohtani back, and then followed it up with a 94 mph fastball even more inside, hitting Ohtani squarely on the right thigh. While Vasquez and Padres manager Mike Shildt insisted it wasn't intentional, Dave Roberts, the Dodgers manager, had a very different take. In his post-game address, Roberts declared he absolutely thought it was intentional, stating, "Vasquez took one shot at him and then hit him again. It's very hard to miss that bad with a right-handed pitcher. I do feel it was intentional." What truly set Roberts off, however, was what happened next. The umpires huddled and then crew chief Marvin Hudson issued warnings to both dugouts. Roberts immediately left the dugout, raising his arms in confusion and demanding an explanation. Third base umpire Trip Gibson then promptly ejected him for arguing the warnings. Roberts initially claimed he wasn't aware of the ejection, but once Hudson informed him, the usually calm manager unleashed a rare tirade, angrily pointing at Gibson and physically being shielded by Hudson from confronting the umpire face to face. He stomped around for nearly 2 minutes before finally retreating. Roberts' frustration was palpable, especially when he noted the inconsistency. He was ejected for asking for an explanation, while Padres manager Mike Shildt was later allowed to walk onto the field and discuss the warnings with the crew without being tossed. This lack of consistency clearly irked Roberts, and it's a sentiment many managers and fans often echo. Andy Pages answers back. Amidst all the fireworks and managerial drama, Andy Pages delivered a performance for the ages. The night before, in Monday's series opener, Pages was hit by a pitch from Dylan Cease and exchanged words, with cameras catching Padres manager Mike Shildt yelling, "Who the expletive do you think you are?" from the dugout. On Tuesday night, Pages provided a resounding answer. The second-year slugger went 4 for 4 at the plate, including 2 go-ahead home runs. He belted a go-ahead solo shot in the bottom of the second. He launched a tying shot in the fourth, and after Will Smith hit a crucial 2-run homer in the sixth, Pages added an RBI single in what became a 5-run rally, helping catapult the Dodgers to an 8-3 lead. Pages remained diplomatic about Shilt's comments, saying he didn't pay much attention to it and focused on the game. However, teammate Max Muncy offered a more pointed response. "I think Andy spoke for himself today. I think Andy told him who he was today. It was a classic, revenge game, narrative, delivered with power and precision." Pages raised his batting average to .293 and is making a strong case for an all-star selection. More umpire controversy and a scrappy finish. The umpire controversies weren't over. In the seventh, Dodgers reliever Matt Sauer hit Padres shortstop Jose Iglesias, yet no ejection followed, despite Manny Machado yelling from the dugout about the earlier warnings. Then came a bizarre play where Tatis Jr. was initially called out at second after stepping off the bag, only for home plate umpire Ryan Blackney to call time before the tag, allowing Tatis to stay on base. This led to a balk by Michael Kopech, scoring another Padres run. Despite these tense moments and the Padres narrowing the gap, the Dodgers held on. Anthony Banda stranded the bases loaded in the 8th, and Tanner Scott, pitching for the third straight day, collected his 14th save, sealing the 8-6 victory. Conclusion: this Dodgers-Padres matchup was a microcosm of what makes baseball rivalries so compelling: intense competition, high emotions, strategic plunkings, and individual players rising to the occasion. Dave Roberts' rare ejection underscored the boiling tensions. But Andy Page's dominant performance proved the Dodgers' resilience and offensive firepower. It was a wild night at Dodger Stadium, and just another chapter in this heated rivalry. What did you think of this chaotic game? Do you believe Ohtani's hit by pitch was intentional? And how incredible was Andy Page's performance? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more thrilling MLB highlights and analysis. Tuesday night at Dodger Stadium was a wild one, marked by hit by pitches, umpire warnings, a manager's fiery ejection, and a standout performance that ultimately propelled the Los Angeles Dodgers to an 8-6 victory over the San Diego Padres. The tension escalated in the third inning after Padres star Fernando Tatis Jr. was hit by a pitch. Moments later, in the bottom half, Shohei Ohtani was drilled in the leg by Padres starter Randy Vasquez. While Vasquez and Padres manager Mike Shildt insisted it was unintentional, Dodgers manager Dave Roberts strongly disagreed. Vasquez took one shot at him, and then hit him again. It's very hard to miss that bad with a right-handed pitcher. Roberts stated post-game, adding, "I do feel it was intentional." What truly set Roberts off was the subsequent decision by crew chief Marvin Hudson to issue warnings to both dugouts. Roberts, usually composed, immediately sought an explanation, walking onto the field in confusion. This led to a quick ejection by third base umpire Tripp Gibson. Unaware he was already tossed, Roberts then unleashed a rare, nearly 2-minute tirade, angrily pointing and pleading his case before finally retreating to the clubhouse. He later expressed frustration over the inconsistency, noting that Shildt was allowed to discuss the warnings with the umpires without being ejected. Amidst the chaos, one Dodger truly shined, Andy Page's. After being hit by a pitch in the series opener and getting yelled at by Mike Shildt, Pages delivered a resounding answer with a spectacular 4-for-4 performance. The second-year slugger belted a go-ahead home run in the second inning and a tying shot in the fourth. He later added an RBI single in a decisive 5-run rally in the sixth, showcasing the confidence he has in his work and approach at the plate. When asked about Shilt's comments from the previous night, Pages remained diplomatic, stating he didn't pay much attention to it and focused on the game. However, teammate Max Muncy offered a more pointed response. "I think Andy spoke for himself today. I think Andy told him who he was today." Page's current batting average of .293 and 15 home runs in the 2025 season certainly back up Muncy's sentiment, bolstering his case for a potential All-Star selection. The controversial calls didn't end there, as a balk and a curious timeout call allowed the Padres to narrow the lead late in the game. But strong relief pitching from Anthony Banda and Tanner Scott ultimately secured the Dodgers' hard-fought 8-6 win in a truly wild and memorable contest against their rivals.